What's up, guys? Today I'm playing Lift Your Spirits. Let's start. Alone on a Friday night, and I'm spending it here. My fingers were sluggish as they typed out the last bit of conclusion needed to finish my paper. I didn't even bother spell checking. The rest my hand dragging the cursor across to close the document. Alright, time to submit it. I typed out my regards to Mr. Holtman. Kindly find the attached file of your assignment, your student. Galaxy. Your student, Galaxy. Stifling a yawn, I turned on my phone to check the time. The time in real life is 3 p.m. 2:53 a.m. The universal experience of losing sleep and gaining eye bags as a college student came to grace me in its hold once again, it seems. At least it's the weekend. Turning off the computer, it suddenly hit me how quiet it was without my fingers tapping away at the keyboard. Everyone else had left. The campus was open 24/7, but who else was dumb enough to push their luck by submitting their assignments this late? I considered myself lucky Mr. Holtman gave me the extended deadline, otherwise I'd be screwed. Still, there was also the rumors disembodied voices echoed through empty rooms. Heavy footsteps shuffling down the halls. Those who were lucky claimed to see a black silhouette sulking around the vending machine at the end of the corridor, staring at them. I wasn't the superstitious type, but I had to admit the early silence of being the only person here gave me the creeps. That was right. I was recalling all the gossip spreading around the student body when a sound made me perk up. I glanced behind me over to the monitors to see if someone had come in. Nobody. I ignored the goosebumps rising on my arms as I gathered up my items into my bag. Superstitious or not, I've done what I came here for. Time to go. I shambled to the elevators and tapped the buttons. It rumbled to life, slowly making its way to my floor. Just a couple of minutes. Just a couple more minutes and I'm out of here. I assured myself. I don't know why, but I found myself constantly checking behind me as if expecting someone there. Yet it's always empty every time I look. I tap the button some more. Just waiting for the elevator. The hairs at the back of my neck stood up as if I was being watched. There's footsteps. I think there are footsteps coming from behind me. I clenched my fist, ignoring how sweaty they felt in my pockets. Is that me or it's someone behind me? Is there someone behind me? That's what I just said. That's literally what I just said. Jesus. I jumped up. I jumped. The door slid open as I released the breath I didn't realize I was holding. I didn't even consider looking back as I stepped inside, refusing to turn around until the doors closed. The chipper background music they played calmed me down somewhat. I'm almost in disbelief they were still playing it at this hour. Almost. I pressed the button for the ground floor. The elevator was moving with a small jolt. With nothing to do but wait, and I stared as the numbers slowly descended. The lull, is that word? Lull. The lull of the elevator was starting to make me sleepy. I thought of the things I could once do. I could do once I got home, just to distract myself for the rest of the ride. A shower for sure. Oh, I didn't get to read any of that. Okay, flickering lights. I blinked up at the flickering lights. The elevator shuddered and came to an abrupt halt. The music cut out. I tried the button for the ground floor, then the rest. Unresponsive. Pushing the intercom button gave nothing but static. Hello? No. This can't be happening. Taking a moment to compose myself, I called out. Is anyone there? I'm stuck in here. Help. I started slamming the doors in as panic took hold. There had to be someone out there. Help, please. I'm in here. I didn't stop for a good minute, getting more and more desperate as tears welled up in my eyes. Why? Why now? Why me? I knocked my forehead against the door in a slump, ready to curl up and cry. This sucks. I was about to turn before I felt a chill run up my spine. The air felt heavy. Is this claustrophobia setting in? I didn't think I had a fear of closed spaces, unless there was a raspy moan from behind me. I turned my head and screamed. Across me was a growing blotch of darkness and an oozing mass that seemed to melt through the walls. I scrambled away, my back flat against the door. A hand emerged from the writhing form, grasping at the edges. Foul-smelling black ichor dripped from its fingers. Another arm followed suit, clinging to the other side. I couldn't look away. I couldn't find my voice to scream. A face took shape. A pair of hollow eyes and a manic grin with several teeth. It seemed to smile directly at me. I blacked out. Up. Wake up. Hey. I heard a voice, panicked and flustered from above me. A person was looming over me, visibly worried as I blinked back to consciousness. You're alive. I couldn't really check for a pulse, so anyway, are you alright? I think so. Phew, I'm glad. Didn't mean to scare you back there. I realized I was still in the elevator, but now with a stranger twiddling their thumbs in front of me. They were taller than me. Taller than me? They must be a giant then. Looming a few good inches past my head. If they're taller than me, their head must be reaching the elevator. Because my head almost reaches the elevator, the top of the elevator. Their limbs looked even more awkward in their baggy sweater they had. What's wrong with baggy clothes? I wasn't sure if they forgot to wash away their makeup or if they just haven't slept for 3 days straight. Jeez. Possibly both. I realized they were staring at me as well. Their eyes focused on me a little too long, as if they'd forgotten how to blink. So I suddenly remembered the last thing I saw. That creepy shadow from the wall. But before you were here, there was something crawling out of the wall, the walls. I know it sounds insane, but I swear it looks straight out of a horror movie. The stranger looked nervous. Crap, they think I'm nuts. Don't look at me like that. No, I believe you. For sure. You saw it too? Well, sort of. Sorry. I was really trying to be sneaky. That must have been uncomfortable to watch, huh? Come again? What are you saying? Well, I heard you yelling for help and I couldn't just leave you alone, so I did the next best thing I could. Are you saying that was you? Yes, in a way. There's really no easy way to say this. I'm not alive. Not the way you are. Did they mean... You mean you're like a ghost? The stranger lit up appreciatively. Basically, you must have heard the rumors, right? Well, it's me. In the flesh. Well, sans the flesh. What does sans mean? Believe them, stick your hand through them. I'll just believe her. Because how else did she get in here? Or them, how did they get in here? I feel like this isn't the worst situation to be meeting a ghost for the first time. The stranger gave a sigh of relief. Thank you for trusting me. I'd ask for your name, but I already know that it's Galaxy. How did you... I've been watching you for a while. Excuse me? Tonight I've been watching you for a while tonight. It's not safe to be alone this late. I would know. Before I could ask further, they straightened. Anyways, I stuck around to see you write your paper. I don't necessarily agree with your hypothesis, but interesting nevertheless. Thanks, I think. They gave a shy smile. No problem. This wasn't the way I expected my night to go, but I guess the sooner I accept it, the better. I should probably ask for their name instead of calling them stranger. You know my name, but what about yours? Oh. They looked away, their fingers picking at their sleeves. How do your fingers pick at your sleeve? With opposite hand or like this? I don't remember. I know who I was and what I did when I was alive, but not my name. Strange, isn't it? Oh, I thought she was talking. Have you ever thought of picking one yourself? Their eyes widen, as if the thought never occurred to them. I never needed a name, but if I were to have one, I've always liked the way Alma sounds. She looks like an Alma, doesn't she? Or they. It's perfect. Their smile widened. Thank you, Galaxy. Alma went back to twiddling their fingers. We stood in silence for a while, gauging on what to say next. I kept glancing back at their hands, wondering if they'd feel as solid as they looked. They knew I was staring, but didn't seem to mind, waiting patiently in front of me. So when do I get out this elevator? My thoughts were running wild from sleep deprivation and shock to automatically. My brain just went to automatically. It's actually to actually form words past our introduction, to be honest. They started humming softly as if to fill the silence. That's when it hit me. For a ghost, they could easily be a student just like me. I have to ask, how did you, Alma had a knowing look in their eyes. Oh man. I forgot the voice I gave her. Oh man. It's honestly kind of embarrassing. We have to know, though. Let's insist. Despite having no blood flowing through their veins, their cheeks seemed to darken, like a darker color. We don't have to get into it. But I really want to know, please. They hesitated before nodding. Promise you won't make fun of me. Promise. Okay. So I was staying late working on an assignment just like you. No one was around. Even back then, I was known as a loner most of the time. It didn't bother me. While I was working, I got thirsty, so no big deal. So I headed over to the vending machine for a drink. They paused, hand shaking. They clasped at their wrist like this, twisting and twisting before continuing. Oh, she's doing the same pose I just did. Just a soda, not too much to ask, right? I paid for the damn thing, but somehow my hand got stuck in the dispenser. So I pulled, and well, they struggled a bit before I waved for them to continue. It fell. I felt my whole body being crushed under the weight. I couldn't even cry out for help. And the whole time my hand was still stuck on that thing. Not that I could even tell. I think my wrist was beyond saving at that point. They sunk into themselves. I died trying it to get some cheap soda. How pathetic is that? It's not. I'm sorry that happened to you. I put my hand over theirs. It passed right through, giving an ice-cold chill at my fingertips, but Alma seemed to appreciate it nevertheless. They looked up at me, their nervous hands finally coming to a stop. I've never told anyone about that before. I didn't think it would feel this. I didn't think it would feel this. That's how the sentence is. I didn't think it would feel this. Okay, I'm gonna continue. Hopefully it makes more sense. I didn't think it would feel this freely. Thank you. You know, I think you're a really great person. I want to help you get out of here. I tilted my head. How are you going to do that? I can try some things. That is, if you trust me. The only option I have is to trust her. I guess we'll trust her. They clapped their hands excitedly. Okay, here we go. You might want to hold on to something. Before I could ask further, the elevator began to drop. My heart plunged to my throat as my weight shifted upwards. Alma! Hang on, let me focus. The buttons for each floor flashed beside me. I was standing beside it. If I'm standing beside it, why is she... Shouldn't I be behind her if I was standing beside it? I closed my eyes shut and decided to trust them. It felt like a roller coaster heading straight to the ground. The air whizzed. What does whizzed mean? Okay, the air whizzed around me. I grit my teeth and clenched my hands. Knuckles probably white if I bothered to look. And just like that, it stopped. I yelped as the elevator jolted. I landed on with a smack. I blinked my eyes open to see Alma clapping excitedly. They looked over to see me on the floor and gestured towards the door. They creaked open as if manually pulled apart by an unseen force. My jaw dropped as I realized they really did bring me to the ground floor. You really did it. I did. I never got to do this before. I couldn't believe my eyes. I stood and threw my arms around Alma, only to completely pass through. I was just about to say, aren't I going to pass through? They yelped and backed away to the wall. Give a signal before you do that. I don't appreciate feeling hands inside of me. It's gross. Sorry. I gathered myself and stepped through the doors. Alma followed suit. What does suit mean? I thought it was just like a suit you wear. What does suit mean? I don't know what most of these words mean in this entire video. Sure enough, the lobby was empty. The clock on the wall, I don't see a clock on the wall, indicating it was close to 4 a.m. It was 3:50. It was 3:50 by the time. It says it was close to 4 a.m. now, so which means it must be 3:50. Well, I guess this is it. I turned to see them trying hard not to reach for their hands, fingers twitching to intertwine with one another. That's the pose she's doing right now. It all happened so fast. It sunk in that now I could leave and go home right now if I wanted to. Alma, thank you. I appreciate it. They nodded understandingly. I stood there for a moment as they looked at me before averting their eyes, like looking away. They were waiting for me to leave. I grasped at my phone inside my pocket, mustering the courage to ask what I was about to ask. What am I gonna ask? Would you ever want to hang out again? They did a double take. Huh? Would you want to hang? Yes! But why would you want to? Why wouldn't I? I like you. Once again, their cheeks darkened despite being them. You can actually see it this time. I like you too. Yeah, I'd love to hang out again. Great. Preferably when I'm, not stuck and helpless in an elevator. My heart skipped a beat as they laughed lightly. Preferably, of course. I'll see you next week. Yes. Don't worry about a time or place. I can always find you, wherever you are in the building. Kind of unsettling, but okay. Stay safe, Galaxy. I waved and headed towards the entrance, pulled my phone out to call for a driver from one of my apps. Why am I calling for a driver? When I turned to look back at Alma, Alma was already gone. Good and two. Friends for life or more. There's endings to this. I guess that was lift your spirits. Okay, so I guess that was lift your spirit. And there are other endings. If you want me to make a video on getting the other endings, leave a like and comment down below. And if you enjoyed this video, I don't know why it keeps focusing out, but if you enjoyed this video, leave a like. And if you want to see more, consider subscribing. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye.